Hey everyone, this is Dr. Shea from Aligned Life Wellness, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your children's workspace so that they can have fantastic posture and focus while doing school from home. Let's get started. So normally at this time of year, I'm filming this in August, we'd be talking about backpack safety and how carrying heavy loads on a spine can be a challenge. But this year, obviously things are a little different. Our children are typically working from home. So we need to get their workspace set up in a way that's going to help to maintain their posture and not cause issues in their spine or nervous system. So first things first, my recommendation is number one, you've got to have a declared, dedicated space for them to work from. So whether that's in their bedroom, if they have that, with maybe a little bit of a desk setup like this, or maybe they would be working at a small table or the kitchen table off to the side in the main room. This is going to be really important to be able to help kids mentally delineate their professional life, in this case school, and their personal life. So first step, declare a dedicated workspace for them. Number two, second thing I'd have you focus on is actually the position of their bodies. So I would love to have people start with kids having their feet flat on the floor. Remember, sitting is just like squatting. We want a wide base of support. That is our foundation for our whole upper body and our posture. If kids are sitting with kind of the crisscross applesauce or 1 foot underneath their hips, that doesn't work very well. It gives them a lot of reason to spend more time in flex positions, which is really what we want to discourage out of this whole discussion. So first things first, feet flat on the floor. Second, I would strongly encourage the use of something like this. We just went and purchased our kids these Wobble Chairs. The Wobble Chair seems to be a really great thing because it encourages active sitting. And what I mean by that is the posture has to be active. Your muscles have to be activated in order to be able to hold the upright position. The bottom of this, the base, is not actually flat. It has a little bit of a wobble to it, and accordingly, it encourages core activation and upright postures to be able to maintain. It's also, what we've found for our kids, a great way for them to get energy out while still at the same time being able to maintain their focus. So they're burning calories, they're in a good upright position, it's a win-win. You can find these online. So I would definitely take a look for a Wobble Chair. The second thing that I would talk about is this challenge associated with, like, my kids' school district sent us home with a tablet. So the tablet is fantastic, it's powerful, but it really encourages a flexed position because we're essentially trying to look down to be able to see the screen and type and do things of that nature, which puts a lot of stress and tension on the upper back and neck. This would lead to things more like headaches and migraines, neck pain, upper back stiffness, potentially even symptoms like almost like a carpal tunnel, radiating numbness and tingling and burning coming down the arm. So with this in mind, I actually went and I built this in the garage. It's a really simple stand. It's made out of wood and glue. Super easy. What this does is it helps to prop up the screen. It can be used in a horizontal fashion or in a vertical fashion. And it just helps to be able to get things up a bit. And that in and of itself is a really big advantage. In an ideal world, if your kid's desk is taller than they are, and this position still encourages them to create some flexion, you may need to add a book or so underneath the stand. So go ahead, take the stand, prop it up a little bit higher. Now this is a lot better position for me. I'd like to see in an ideal version that my eye level is right at the top of the screen or at the top of the monitor. That would be the best case scenario. So stack it up with whatever number of books you need in order to make that happen. Get creative, make it work, okay? Second thing I would encourage is I really like the use of these keyboards. The keyboards are fantastic because it'll separate the monitor from the typing station. And the key for this is bring the keyboard nice and close to the edge. Keep the shoulder blades back, pinned down, having the wrist in a relatively neutral position. Ideally, if this was perfect setup, I'd probably be a little bit higher and my elbow would be at 90 degrees. My wrist would be completely flat. So just keep that in mind. This is probably not perfect, but it's close enough to give you guys the idea. And I like this concept of separating out the monitor from the screen. So the monitor from the keyboard. So if you can do that, that's really sort of best practices. Something else that I think is important is a lot of times if our kids are small and we have a chair for them, many times their feet actually won't touch the floor. So my recommendation for that is to have some sort of a box or stool that would sit underneath their feet to be able to give them that wide base of support down low here. That's going to be critical because, again, if their feet are dangling, they really don't have a lot of stability. And according to what we'll notice is more of these sort of relaxed hanging positions, which is not what we want to encourage. So make sure that you've got a nice base of support underneath there. It could be accomplished by a book or a shoebox. That'll do the trick. The last thing that I would recommend is the use of over-the-ear headphones. So especially if your child is in a room with other people trying to either do school themselves, or potentially you're there monitoring and you're trying to get work done, being able to plug in to the device and simultaneously be able to hear things without causing an issue, using the headphones is a really great way. Now, the problem with this is if your kids are like mine, it's difficult for their ear canals to fit the little just earbud based headset. So what I'd encourage you to do is find a pair of cheaper version over the ear headphones, and that'll help to get them the volume that they need. It's also going to be comfortable, and it helps them with their focus. If they're not really able to focus because they're listening to maybe the TV on that's going in the same room, or an adult conversation, or maybe you're on the phone with a client or something like that, that discourages them from really being able to lock in and focus and concentrate on what needs to be done. So get yourself a stand that's like this. Get that keyboard that would be separated. Maybe work on getting a stool that would be an ideal position for them, and dial in that height of the monitor. And ultimately, that's going to save not only your kids' posture, but also help with their concentration and focus. Guys, I hope this has helped with your kids' setup for back to school. I wish you guys the best of luck in this school system for this year, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a great week.